Hey guys, EBP Man here, and today we're doing an unboxing review of the iPhone X XR. Let's check it out. Now, just like with every iPhone, the startup process looks the same. And matter of fact, it's really hard at initial glance to look at this phone and to tell the difference between a non-XR and an XS, for example, or even the iPhone X Max, despite the size difference. Now, what you'll learn is that from a spec perspective, that there have been some sacrifices made in order to bring the price point down. First thing specifically is going to be the screen. Now, one of the things that I had seen, and you'll see this on YouTube, is that many reviews have been done with the screen, and even blind comparisons, where make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available. Alright guys, so the startup process for the iPhone is pretty much the same regardless of the device that you look at. And as you look at this one right here, everything looks really good. It has the new iPhone look with the notch. But we're going to look at how does the screen compare, because this one has I don't want to call it an inferior, but it's using a different technology, and a technology that has been allowed Apple to really bring the price point down. So we're going to look at a comparison in a couple seconds. But this is your iPhone experience. Everything is pretty much the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and choose our language of choice. We're in the United States. We're going to set this up manually, and we're going to go ahead and connect our network next. Now your setup process is exactly the same. You're going to get the prompts for your Face ID, passcode, and you're going to have to go through all of these choices here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this phone up as a new iPhone, and then just set up my Apple ID. Now once you've inputted your Apple ID and accepted the terms, it's going to go up through the setup process. We're going to go ahead and click through all of the update information. Little preview on how to use Siri, given that you don't have a home button and you'll be using the same side here. And now we'll have to go ahead and program our voice. Now once you've configured your Siri or registered your voice, you're just going to hit continue. By the way, since this is a new iPhone, I'm going through this process and I'm setting it up as a new iPhone, not from one of my other iPhones that I have, or copying any of the information. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. But before I do this, we're starting to see this type of feature. Let me get a little bit closer. Really helping you understand your usage about your phone. Google has this, Apple has this. We're starting to see more and more manufacturers giving you the ability to track how much screen time you have, so that those of you who are maybe using the phone more than you know, or would like to disconnect, get a better idea. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. You have now these app analytics. I'm going to say don't share. And then True Tone Display. If you press this, you can see what it looks like without. You can say what it looks like without. It's kind of a little brighter, I would say, and maybe harsher for your eyes. And this is a little bit softer, so it's not quite bright white. I'm going to leave it as is. You can choose your view. So here's one option, and we'll do the zoomed view. Here's the other one. We'll go to this one again. So here's your standard view, a little bit smaller. Zoomed view. We'll just go with the standard view. Here's another thing that you can look at, the difference. A little bit bigger. All right. So we're going to keep it the same. I'm going to hit next. And then we're going to continue. Continue. This is just giving you some tips on how to use the phone. And that's it. All right, guys. So let's talk about the differences and why you may want to choose an XR versus the XS. So first of all, the biggest difference you're going to find is that this is a $749 unit compared to a $999. So price is a huge deal. They're both sharing the same processor. And one of the other differences is that if you do consider this specific XR, you'll notice that while it's really hard for you to tell the differences in screen resolution, which we're going to talk about in a second, one of the things that is easy to tell is that this is a much larger phone. So you're looking at a 5.8 inch screen here, and then you're looking at here a 6.1. That's just 0.4 inches different from the Max, which is also several $1,000s more expensive. Now, the big difference here, and this is what you're going to hear on YouTube and you're going to hear a lot of people talk about, is that the resolution on this phone is lesser. So you're looking at a resolution that in some cases is something that's really hard for an untrained eye to be able to perceive. So this has a 1792 by 1125 pixel resolution compared to something like this that is almost double, 2436 by 1125. But as you look at them right now, naked eye, just looking at them, it's probably hard for you to tell the difference from an angle, from a color perspective. And there's been a lot of blind studies that has actually shown that it's very difficult for someone to tell the difference between the XR and a non-XR phone. Memory wise, you're looking at the same thing, 64, 256, and 512. Both of these will support Face ID, but the difference does happen when we're looking at the front-facing or the actual cameras themselves. So let's talk about the cameras. As we flip these over, we have a dual camera on one. So you have a dual 12 megapixel, and obviously you have a single, right? So you don't have the telephoto capabilities. But from a front-facing perspective, if we look at the front again, and we'll go ahead and get out of this, and we'll flip this guy back. The front, you're going to have the fact that you have the same 7 megapixel camera. So if you're into the selfies, you have the same quality coming from both. Battery life, you're going to find a better battery life with this one. Battery life tested has been around 11 hours. This one is just a little bit over 9 hours, like 9 hours and a half. And then the construction is a little bit different too. So you're looking at a stainless construction, on this guy, but then you have an aluminum on this side. So all in all, when you think about it, which is the better buy? If you are looking for an iPhone and you want a newer design, and maybe you are into the notch, and you really can't tell the difference in the screen quality, which I advise you to go to the store, you may want to pick this guy up. Again, a couple $100 cheaper, but you get the look and feel of the more expensive one. So guys, that concludes my unboxing and initial impression of the iPhone XR. I have to say, if you're considering an iPhone and you're not looking to pay over $1,000 for one, this is not a bad deal. And again, despite the fact that everybody's talking about the lesser screen quality, it's really hard for anyone to tell. These both are at the same brightness level, and when we put them side by side, and I'm going to give this in an angle. So you can see the angle view right there of this one. And then we'll go back, and we'll do the same thing with this one. Full brightness, and we'll put it in an angle, and we'll go back. How big of a deal is that to you? So let me know in the comment area below. Do you think the XR is a better value, or would you still go with an XS or an XS Max? In the comment area, let me know. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.